Hello to all the NET aspirants. I am Komal, and in today's video, I will be sharing my strategy of how I have qualified UGC NET June 2024 examination in English, and I have also qualified December 2024 attempt. And with that same strategy, with that same sense study, I have qualified GATE conducted by IIT Roorkee in February 2025. So, in today's video, I will be sharing my strategy, my approach, my priorities, and the challenges that I have faced when I was preparing for this exam. So, I do not want that you people do the same mistakes. And for that sake, I have made this video so that it becomes easy for you to prepare for this examination on your own. So before any delay, let us just start our video. So whenever we start to prepare for this examination, we often get confused that where should we start from, because as a beginner, we do not know that where we will find the previous year question paper of this exam and what will be the topics that will come in our examination. So when I was preparing for this examination, I was in my MA program. I was in my second semester. I would like to tell you beforehand that I prepared with my MA, and with my MA syllabus, I tried to, make the adjustments to prepare for this exam. But that does not make me compromise with my MA English syllabus or MA English examinations, because I am also a gold medalist in my MA program. So, let me tell you about the steps that I have taken while I was preparing. What happened is that when I was thinking to prepare for this examination, I did not know about what is NET. So when I came across different videos at what NET is all about and who conducts this NET examination, so I got to know that it is a UGC, which conducts the NET exam twice a year. So these were some of the basic facts and details that I got to know about this examination. So this was my step one while I was preparing, because I was really curious for the examination I was preparing for. Now my second step was to get to the syllabus. And you know what? The syllabus part of English literature is very vast. We all know that UGC has already provided 10 units to us in paper 2 English and also 10 units in paper 1. Now, when it comes to the syllabus of English, they have mentioned poetry, drama, fiction, prose, we have research methodology, we have theory, we have criticism, we have culture studies, we have linguistics, and so many terms that they ask in their examination. So I did not know that where should I start from. And there was one such day while I was just, sitting and was just exploring that where will I find a good mentor and a good lighthouse that can mentor me. So that day I came across with the Arpita ma'am's website. So in that website, ma'am has given us so many topics and the writers list, and that are of free of cost. So I find that list, and I copied that list because ma'am has prepared that list according to the PYQs, right? So I made the list and I will show you the list so that you get the idea of how you can take the benefit of that free resource. So this was one for the British literature that I made. So here we have all the writers that often come in the examination, and it is a really hard working task that ma'am has done for us. And I made this list and I made them chronologically, like you can see that they are according to their birth year, because they also ask the chronology part in their examination. So I prepared this list.
Friends, you'll be glad to know that my UGC NET Paper 1 book has been praised for its innovative teaching style by the legendary Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Further, if you're looking for video lectures that can explain the plot of important works of Paper 2 English, then consider enrolling in my online course for UGC NET English. I'm proud to launch India's first animated video course where I've explained over 500 important plays, novels, and poems in an engaging way. For more details, check out the description box.
Now my second step was to look for the previous year question papers. I referred to 5 years of previous year question papers so that I get an idea of what is the pattern of the question and what is the language of the examination and how often a writer gets repeated and how often a work gets repeated, because there are some works, there are some writers that are so important that they always come into the examination. So when this exercise took me like 1 or 2 weeks, so I was really patient when I was analyzing the PYQs, because I knew that this step will, make me very confident. I will never get to a stage where I would be asking people that what should I prepare? In how much depth should I go of a writer? So that PYQ analysis gave me confidence, right? So this should be your second step, and it is to refer to the PYQs of 5 years at least, right? So you can do this for paper 1 and paper 2 also. So when it comes to the resources that I followed, so I have my own list uh, of the books that I have referred in my journey. So let me tell you, for British literature, I have followed this book. This is English literature. Uh, it is all about the history and some major writers, major genres that they have in that particular age. So this book is by William J. Lom, and this is one of the most wonderful books that I have ever read on this subject, right? So I read it twice. So I would also suggest you to read this book at least twice so that you get a idea about what literature is, what is different, the chronology of the ages, and who are major authors and the writers. So how literature is formed. So you will get a very good idea about this subject in this beautiful book, right? So there are many books in the market when it comes to this particular history. We have David Nietzsche's, we have Routledge, we have Albert LB, and so many books. So you can refer to any book, right? So when it comes to word literature, so for word literature, it was a very challenging from, because word literature often covers like 6 to 7 questions in an exam. So I knew that the output is not that much in this section. So what I did was I prepared a list of all the PYQs in word literature. I made 4 or 5 pages notes of all the PYQs. Like I wrote the PYQs of American literature at a single place, and at another place I wrote all the PYQs of African, and I did the similar thing for other world literature. For instance, we have Indian literature, we have Australian literature, we have diasporic, we have American, and we have so many other literature. So I did this strategy, and through those PYQs I delved deep into those major writers, into those major works that they always ask. So from those PYQs I prepared the word literature on a very surface level. So it was very smart strategy, I would say, to prepare for such topics which do not have that much output in any exam, because British literature have very dominant part when it comes to the exam. So I prepared this wholeheartedly. Now coming to the other units of this paper 2, we have is theory. So for theory part, I refer to this book. This is Beginning Theory by Peter Berry. Now this is one of my favorite books, and this is one such book that really gave me the deep idea of what a theory is. So I have seen people who find the language of this book really complex. And I would not lie, I also face the same thing. I find the language a bit complex. But there is one solution for that thing. What you can do is that you can, get the basic idea, get the basic theme, and the basic terms related to the theories by watching different YouTube videos, very crispy videos. You can refer to such a variety of videos and sites. So, this was my strategy for theory. Now, theory is one such portion which is becoming really important day by day, because it's like they ask 15, 16 questions in this theory part. So prepare it very diligently. Now, when it comes to, criticism part, I had criticism in my MA syllabus also, and I had other writers like Aristotle, I had Arnold, and William Wordsworth and T.S. Eliot. So I, read the text of those essays. So that really helped me. And if I suggest you some books, now this one is the history and principles of literary criticism, and this book is by Dr. Rabu Tilak, and this is my father's book. And now I read it selectively. For like essays that I did not had in my MA, I referred to this book and I read the basic summary and points of those essays. So yeah, this is one such book. And criticism, is not that much important when it comes to the syllabus, because they ask, 3 or 4 questions. So I, kept it to the limit. Now we have different terms, poetic devices, and movements that are often asked in various examination of English. Be it any exam, it might be of TGT, PGT, or other school level examinations. This book by A Glossary of Literary Terms by M.H. Abrams. I know that lots of students might be familiar with this book already. This book is something that is like a Bible for English literature students, right? Because I was preparing for this NET exam with my MA, so I did not have that much time to read this book. So I referred to this book selectively, but I would definitely suggest you to go for this book, because if you are aiming for JRF part, then this will be a savior for you, right? Now, for other units, for instance, we have linguistics, we have English in India, we have research methodology. So these are the smaller units, and I really believe that we should prepare these smaller units also, because the questions that they ask in these small units are way easier. Okay, so prepare them also, like cover 90% of the syllabus, I would say, right? So for those, smaller units, what I did was I prepared my notes by referring to the PYQs, right? So for instance, I will show you, this is now English in India unit, and I made all the notes of PYQs that they asked in this section, and major, commission, acts, Macaulay minutes, Woods dispatch. So these kinds of notes I made for English in India. So these were really enough for me, and you can refer to YouTube videos and some resources. Now for linguistics, what I did, or linguistic, I did the same thing. I made my notes from PYQs, from different freely available books that I got from the Telegram and various websites. So like what is semiotics, what is semantics, morphology, and Pitkin Creole. So I made 4 or 5 pages notes for linguistics also.
Friends, if you are looking for more PYQs on this topic, you can refer to the Unit End questions in my UGC NET Paper 1 book that provides you with 6500 plus solved unit-wise questions with detailed solutions and hints. But hey, what if you are looking for online mock tests that can help you practice questions in online exam format? If that's what you are looking for, you can join our newly updated online mock test series with a wide range of full-length tests available on the Arpita Karwa learning app. These tests perfectly replicate the UGC NET exam interface, providing you with a real life exam experience. Plus, after each test, you'll receive a detailed performance report and see where you stand in the All India leaderboard.
And when it comes to research methodology, I made 2 or 3 pages notes for that also. For instance, what is APA, what is MLA, and what is the format and the updated format. So, because that also gets updated. So, there are a few terms like what is symposium, bibliography, what is the way we cite the work, what is a seminar. So, these small terms that they often ask in the examination, so get acquainted with these kinds of terminologies, right? So I think I have covered most of the part of paper 2. Okay, the one thing that I want to suggest you is that when it comes to the paper 2, I would suggest that get acquainted with the language of literature, because when it comes to the language of literature, what I mean is that, you know, we refer to different websites. We have different websites like Great Saber, we have LitChart, we have Britannica, we have Wikipedia. We have different YouTube videos that, teach us the topic in a very crispy and amazing way. But as a literature student, I would suggest you to, read a few pages of the work, read a few pages of drama or novel, read a few small poems, spend some time on reading the literature to get the first hand experience of the literature, because this will help you in making your literary vocabulary, right? So this will help you in your reading comprehension, in your passages, in your poems, and in your understanding of the question that they ask, right? So this is one such a bonus tip that I wanted to share. And now when it comes to, paper 1, there is one unit that we have is comprehension. So there are, 2 comprehension that comes in paper 2 and 1 comprehension that comes in paper number 1. So we all know that there is no negative marking in the paper, and at the same time each question carries 2 marks. That means we have 30 marks that is allotted to comprehension passage itself, right? So prepare it very diligently, and I would suggest that when you start the preparation, do one reading comprehension each day. You know, practice makes a man perfect. This is what we believe when it comes to reading comprehension. Now, when it comes to paper number 1, for paper number 1, I watched videos. I watched YouTube videos of Arpita ma'am, and there are so many YouTube channels that you can refer to when it comes to paper number 1. And what I did for paper 1 is that I knew that I am not that much comfortable in mathematical questions in DI. So for that part, I did not prepare, right? I made my mind that I have to do the theoretical portion really sincerely. So I did all the teaching aptitude, communication, environment unit, higher education unit, reasoning. So these were some of the low hanging fruits, right, for me. So I prepared them by watching different YouTube videos. I made my own notes. Like my one register was, allotted to paper 1 only. And for paper 1, I would suggest that go through the PYQs. And for paper 1, what you can do is that you have to be very clear in your mind that I have to correct 30 questions, or 35 questions or 40 questions, so that it will make a balance in both of the papers. Like if you do make wrong answers in paper number 2, then the paper 1 will save you. So I had a very clear thing in my mind that I have to correct at least 30 questions in paper number 1 and 60 questions in paper number 2. And so that is how you can make your own strategy, and the marks that you wanted to aim for when it comes to JRF category or NET category for assistant professor or the PhD category. So that is how you make your own strategy, your own blueprint, that how you will go about this strategy, right? Okay, so Another part that I wanted to, talk about is the chronological questions. These chronology questions are becoming really important nowadays because a UGC is asking so many fact based questions, the chronology. What you can do is that you just collect all the PYQs of the chronology questions that they have asked till now, and then revise and recall those that they have already asked. Only revise those, the major authors, the major works that they often ask when it comes to chronology, right? So do not, chase the unknown things, because these known works that they are already asking in chronology part will help you in eliminating the unknown ones, right? So, the thing that should be in your mind is that you have to be ready when it comes to statement questions, because there are also various statements that they give and then they tell us that which one is correct, which one is incorrect. So prepare those questions if you are that if you are not that good in chronology part or in the dates and publications. Right now, coming to the last part of this video, let me tell you that I did not game anymore. I know this sounds really unconventional, but when I was in my MA, I did not get enough time to solve the mock questions. I really had a belief on the PYQs, because PYQs gives us confidence that yes, they will ask this writer in this depth and this work in this way. So I did not had a very strong belief on the mock questions, but for practice you can really refer to them. But when it comes to practice, you have to keep in mind that some mocks are really easy. So easy mocks makes us overconfident, and the difficult mocks, they makes us demotivated. So I avoided both the extremes, right? So PYQs were my savior. But for practice, and if you have time, please do lots of more questions, right? And when it comes to my routine, I had evening shift in my MA. So in the morning, I would prepare for the NET exam, and after coming from the college, I would prepare for my MA exam. So that was my routine, and I did not had a very hourly based preparation, as I have already showed you the list. So I had this thing in my mind that I have to cover 5 or 6 writers each day, depending upon the vastness of the writer, right? And I forgot to mention the Wikipedia part. You can, exhaust the Wikipedia site when it comes to this preparation, because Wikipedia has everything when it comes to this exam for any writer. Just go to the Wikipedia page of any writer and just read the paragraph that they provide, right? And just get the facts and the important facts related to the writer and the bibliography part, right? And the important summaries. Time management. So what you can do for time management is that I am not referring to the time management of preparing. I'm not referring to the time management of while we are preparing, because I always prepared topic based. I did not prepare hourly based, right? So when it comes to the time management in the examination, I did the paper 2 first, because I was more confident in paper number 2 rather than paper number 1. So I did paper 2, and then I felt comfortable and happy in my mind. So then I came to the paper number 1. So this was my approach. And let me show you my British literature notes so that you get an idea of how you can prepare your British literature notes. So when it comes to this part, you can make registers. Like British literature will take 2 or 3 registers. For me, British literature was a very lengthy part, so I made 2 or 3 registers for this part. For instance, like you can see the volume of this register. So, for instance, we have this writer. This is Samuel Butler. So, for what you can do is that just refer to the Wikipedia article of Samuel Butler, write the most important facts related to the writer, and then come to the bibliography. So the most important work we have of Samuel Butler is hoodie brass. Then write some of the important things that they ask in PYQ related to the hoodie brass or this writer. So write the summary or some facts. So that is how I prepared my notes of every writer. So yeah, this was all about my preparation. And the last thing that I wanted to share is that if you have make a commitment to prepare for UGC NET English, then you know consistency is the key, and there is no shortcut. You have to do the hard work, and please have a belief on yourself and your hard work, and things will become easy for you. Once you are on your way, you will find so many resources. We have so many good courses now in the market. You can refer to any course. You can refer to Arpita ma'am's uh, videos and the courses that ma'am have provided. They will help you in your journey. So if you spend some money on your education, then it will benefit you, right? So this is all about this, and thank you.